So what we're going to do is make sure that Laura takes responsibility for what she's done, okay? And we're going to talk about the harm that that's caused. You'll have an opportunity to speak to that in terms of how this has affected you and what you need. And then we'll all work together to try and find some sort of solution that works for everybody. How do we establish a plan for Laura to make sure that we don't end up here again and that Robbie's safe and that everybody's feeling comfortable? How does that sound?
Yeah. You want to do it?
All right.
You can change your mind at any time, okay? But it's important that we're all feeling that we're ready to be there when we get there. So it's going to take a little time. We're going to need a few meetings. And I guess where I'd like to start today is kind of finding out from you, from your perspective, what happened.
Okay. Well,
Laura?
She came in and come on. Stop it. Stop tapping that finger.
Oh, okay, I'll stop.
Come on. It said stop.
You said stop tapping this finger. Now I'm tapping with this one.
And so what happened with that? What did you do?
Obviously, I got carried away, but, I mean, she was really getting on my nerves and
Okay.
always getting at me, and I couldn't just sit there and take it.
Okay. Can you give us a sense, because Dad looks a little surprised right now too. Can you give us a sense of what that was about? And I'm just trying to keep track of it with a few notes, if that's okay.
She would always, just get in my way, and whenever I was trying to do work or do something in school, she would be there in my face, ruining it for me right when I had it. I was working, and then she would just come up and destroy everything I had done. I couldn't focus with her, and she knew that. She took advantage of that.
Okay, so it felt to you like she was deliberately annoying you, and you weren't able to get your work done. And that sounds pretty frustrating. Okay, were you aware of that, Dad?
No.
So how's that sitting for you right now?
Not so good, but what are you getting at here?
Well, I said I couldn't just sit there and take it, and it's not like she's gonna get in trouble for taking away my attention, so I did the same things back to her, I guess. I just tried to take her attention away.
What did that look like? Can you talk a bit about that? Because it would really help us to understand, I think.
Well,
It'd really help if you'd be really honest with us, too.
I know. It's just...
Not easy.
Well, first, I went into all this stuff and got all my friends to go, laugh at her and stuff and call her names. I thought she was staying out of my face, but then she'd always get back to me in some other way and make fun of me, and it just got worse after that.
So it sounds like it's kind of built between the two of you.
Yeah, but I was definitely part of it.
Okay. Well, that's pretty huge to accept that. It doesn't take away from what Laura's done, right? Laura's stepped over a clear line here. But I think it is important that everybody's taking responsibility for what led up to things, right?
Yeah.
Where do you think Laura's at with all of this?
Well,
How things were between you?
Well, she wanted to kill me.
It's pretty extreme, eh? So if you guys can talk about it, I mean, did you want it to get here?
No.
And I can tell you from talking to Shawn, when he's had the conversation, Laura doesn't want it to be there either.
Suck it up and go to the circle.
Maybe we could try a little bit better attitude.
Yeah.
I can't say we're the most talkative family in the world.
But we'll get this done. Let's do it.
It's not how I taught you to resolve things, you know that.
I know.
But it doesn't change what she did.
No, it doesn't.
Right? So we're going to go into this, put all our cards on the table, right?
Mm-hmm. And we're going to take our time getting there too, so that we'll take a few meetings. And, you know, I'd like to meet with you again too, Dad. We'll have a chat again too about how this sits for you. My sense is you need to let things percolate a little bit. Kind of got blindsided a bit.
A little bit.
But I got to say, Rob, I really appreciate your honesty. It's going to carry us a long way.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll go back and meet with Shawn again, and we'll share a bit of information, and I'll be in contact with you, Dad. And then, Robbie, you know, you and I can meet again and follow up too. Anything else that you need before we wrap up for today?
I don't think so.
Maybe we need to talk a little bit.
So, Ms. Kelly, I understand you had a really difficult time lately with this class.
Oh, yeah, I sure have. I've got 2 key players who've just been causing me no end of grief, and it's been going on almost all semester.
Okay. So it started right at the beginning of the year? Or?
Yeah, it started with Robbie and Laura, and I think it started for Laura when she first got here. There was some antagonism between her and Robbie was sort of the main perpetrator of that.
Okay.
And then I think it sort of just kind of turned, the tables turned. She sort of took the lead in dishing it out.
Okay, so they've been kind of back and forth, and it's been escalating over a period of time.
Yeah, and I intervened a couple of times using the mending sort of conversations, and it seemed to work, but I was wrong.
Okay, so you had the conversation with them, you thought you had agreement.
Yeah, I intervened a couple of times, and there were just some pushing and shoving and name calling, and then we had sort of more of a conversation where I actually got the card out when I think Robbie had put a sign on Laura's back. Kick me, I think it was, and I tried to get something happening there, but I don't think it worked.
What the hell?
What?
What's this?
I don't know.
You just put this on my back.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Hey! Stop that. What's going on?
You put this on my back.
Okay, can I get you folks just to excuse yourselves? Lock your lockers, off you go. All right, do you want to solve this problem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, because I think that we should. I'm going to use the MEND card. I'm going to go through some questions with you, okay? All right, so you've agreed to solve this problem?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, are you going to tell the truth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you? Okay. Are you going to listen to each other without interrupting?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you? Okay. And most importantly, do you agree to be respectful with each other? Which means that you're not going to interrupt and point fingers and call each other names and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay? No blaming, no yelling,
Yeah.
Yep.
and no more pushing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. What's happened? We'll start with you.
He put this kick me sign while I was moving my stuff into my locker.
Okay. And what did you expect to happen when you did that?
Did everyone laugh at her and stuff?
Okay. And how do you think that made Laura feel?
Pretty dumb.
And how are you feeling right now?
Pretty dumb.
And what do you mean by dumb?
Well, just came in here and like right in front of all my friends.
So you're kind of feeling actually the way in which you wanted Laura to feel, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it didn't work out, did it?
No.
Okay, so what can we do here to make things right? What are you needing to make things right?
An apology?
And what do you think you can do to meet what she needs?
I'm sorry. Won't do it again.
Thank you.
All right, are we good?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Let's get rid of that. Let's recycle this. Actually, you can recycle that.
Yeah.
Thank you. You okay?
Yep.
Okay, because what happened after that? If you said you didn't think it worked,
well, it just seemed to escalate. I mean, it's been ongoing. You know how you just know it's under the surface, but you can't really catch it.
Kind of bubbling.
And then the time when I was on the phone and that blog was read out loud, that was something else.
Yeah, that's a pretty scary moment for
it was.
everybody. Yeah. And one of the things that you had talked about too was that a lot of the other kids were, when we talked on the phone, a lot of the other kids were starting to get involved, so that it's really been ballooning over time too.
Yeah, because at first it was just those two, right? And then I think what started to happen was that the other kids got on board and they really sort of started taking sides almost with Laura. And it just kind of escalated from there. So it's really turned into a sort of a group effort.
I hate doing things like this anyways. They're pointless. Just like that feud between Robbie and Laura. They're both really good people. It's ruining our friendship.
I can't believe how much tension there is between Robbie and Laura. How did that even happen? They used to be able to get along. I mean, why can't we just get along like we used to?
I really can't believe that Laura said that in her short story. I knew she wasn't very social and didn't have many friends, but I didn't realize that she was so unhappy. It's unbelievable how no one knew that she would just pop the way she did. Who's next on the list?
Right. And it sounds like you've put a lot of time and effort in trying to do something about this and make a shift and a change.
I really have been trying, not only just with their behavior, but with the behavior of the whole class. It's a pretty challenging group, and our school is very supportive with the character ed and just trying to build good citizens, but it's not working out.
So how's that feeling for you?
Well, it's really frustrating. I mean, it's really frustrating professionally, right? Because you're trying to get kids to achieve, and you can't achieve they can't achieve if it's not safe.
No, absolutely not. So what's been the hardest thing out of this for you?
I think just trying to maintain a safe classroom, like just trying to deliver curriculum and environment which kids can actually absorb it. It's been really frustrating just to do my job.
Yeah.
Just the basics of my job.
Okay. And yet my sense when I talk to you is there's more to it than that for you. Like if we stepped outside of, what we might share with the kids at this point, and it's just between you and I to help me understand how you're feeling, how would you describe what that's like for you to be in this position?
Well, it's really tough to admit it, but I mean, it's frustrating professionally, but personally it's defeating. Like I almost feel like a failure. I really do. I feel absolutely just derailed.
Hard not to take it personally.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
And I guess part of what I'm wondering is how might that help for you to get across to these kids the impact on this, not just of you as a teacher in the classroom, but personally as a person, and that here you've poured your heart into this and done what you can, and now you feel like, I didn't accomplish anything. They know what that feels like.
I don't know. That's a big risk.
It's a huge risk, and it's not something you need to make a big decision on, and it's something you can see how it feels. But it's something, my sense of where the kids are at and their understanding is that's kind of a piece that's missing for them. Like they know they've impacted the class, but they don't have a sense of how they've affected you as a person.
They don't have that empathy piece,
and,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, I get it, yeah.
So it's an opportunity to think about.
And as I just sit here listening, I think it's a really good idea. Because that's really the crux of what we're trying to do, is to get people to understand how other people feel. And if I don't take the lead there, then I'm not really walking the walk.
It's a teachable moment for you.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Hey, Laura, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Just wanted to let you know that I talked to your mom, and she knows that that you're here meeting with me today. Kind of filled her in a little bit on some of the stuff that Judy and I have talked about regarding Robbie, and Judy's also had an opportunity to speak with the teacher as well, okay? You remember the other day when I was at your place and we were talking about who was impacted?
Yeah.
Who did we not talk about? There was a person we left out. Who do you think that was?
The teacher.
How do you think the teacher was impacted by all this?
Probably severely, because it's her class and she probably thought she had control over it.
Yeah. Do you have a good relationship with your teacher? I know you're fairly new to the school.
Kinda. They all kind of sympathize for me because I'm the new kid, but that's about it.
Well, I think what was really powerful from the teacher was, just that she really wanted to have a very safe learning environment, and she feels really responsible for what happened. And I think it's valuable. She wants to come to the meeting. She wants to sit down. But I think it's important for you to understand just how she's feeling as well. That, you know, the choices that you made that day. And believe me, I understand what brought you to that place. Yeah. But those choices, you know, how they impacted the teacher as well. Judy talked to Robbie and his dad. And I guess probably the most important thing is that they are interested in sitting down at the table. So you need to know that, okay? They do want to sit down. They're concerned. I guess it's had a really big impact on Robbie and how he, you know, doesn't really feel all that safe. What you may need to also understand is when you go into that circle, I'm not throwing you to the dogs, okay? You're not going to get a pound of flesh ripped off you, because I would never let that happen. But they may be upset, okay? And I guess what might be helpful for you and for, you know, maybe think about your mom, and that would be if the roles were reversed and somebody had written something like that about you, how do you think you would have reacted to that?
Well, I would have been very scared, of course, but I would have thought back to see what I've done to provoke it. Mm-hmm. And he can't just be sitting there saying, oh, I haven't done anything to do it, because I don't do stuff like that unless I feel like I'm going to be harmed. And okay. I wanted to get it done first, so I knew that it wouldn't happen to me. And
you know something, that's a really good point. And I think from what Judy was explaining to me that, you know, Robbie does hold some responsibility in this as well. You know, I'm a firm believer that, you know, very rarely is somebody 100% responsible for everything. And I don't think, from what Judy said to me, he's going to walk in there and put all the blame on you. Unfortunately, you do understand why we're all sitting around that table, though, right? Yeah. Okay. And I want that to be clear. And I really respect you for because that's hard, for taking on that responsibility. Because, I mean, it is why we're at that table. But there is more things going on. And I think Robbie's prepared to talk about that as well. Mm-hmm. Okay. So do you have any questions about the circle and where we're going to go from here?
I'm kind of wondering, should my mom be in there, though? Like, that's when, like, I was thinking, because there's a lot of stuff she still doesn't know about it. And I didn't want her to just go in there, and because I don't know what Robbie's father's like, and I don't want him to be tearing apart my mom for stuff she doesn't even know about.
That's a really good question, and if you're concerned about that, you and I can spend some time talking to your mom about that further before she comes in, and I can pass that on to Judy. I'm not entirely sure where Robbie's dad is at. I did get the sense that I think towards the end he was buying into the meeting. I mean, he was concerned, you know, what was happening to you, like, you know, is she getting in trouble, sort of thing. Yeah. But I think towards the end, as Robbie started to speak a bit more, he started to understand that it wasn't completely all your fault. But if that's a concern of yours, I'll address that with Judy. Yeah. Okay. Would you like to have your mom at that circle?
Well, I would, but I don't want her to feel like she's the one being targeted, because she's already feeling enough guilt as it is.
Gotcha. Understood. Okay. So. Great. Well, I appreciate that. We're almost there, and we'll let you know when it's going to happen, okay?
Okay.
Thanks, Lori.
Okay, well, good to see you again, Robbie. I really appreciate all the effort you've put into this. I know it's been tough for you.
Yeah.
And I had a little bit of a chat with your dad. How are things going there with you and him? Because he was a little taken aback by some of the stuff that had happened. Eh?
Well, this time I decided to tell him everything, because there's no way I want to blindside him again with some bombshell like that.
Good for you.
I mean, I've done it, and already other people know, and he's going to find it anyway.